sweat dripping down my body.
Ew. Hi. Oh no!
I was gonna say, you know what I found beautiful this year?
My boyfriend and I both got COVID shortly after Christmas, so January saw the last few days of our quarantine. We watched TV, cooked food, took walks, coughed a lot. I painted a lot too. I even had fun with some abstract art, which I don't often make the time to do. I also worked on applying to some art residencies. My goal this year is to get accepted into my first residency, so if I don't get accepted into these first few, then I will move on to some more applications. I just submitted my proposal. It literally took most of yesterday and all of today, but I did it. Oh my gosh, we got pizza! Oh my gosh! Pizza! Pizza! Pizza. Open it up. Oh yeah. We're getting out of the house for the first time in forever!
Finally. Yeah.
Yo, delete one.
Life is brief, don't let that get you down. Don't let that get you down. It's all gonna go away soon, but there ain't news to you. Why you so upset about it? Life is brief, don't let that get you down. Don't let that get you down. It's all gonna go away soon, but there ain't news to you. Why you so upset about it? Seen lost, love drop.
Right now, I'm about to pack some art trades that I'm very excited about. I decided that first and foremost this year, I need to try to sell all of the screen printed shirts that I made towards the end of last year. I way overestimated how many I would need, and I have so many left. So what my plan is that I needed to start looking for some art trades that I could trade people a shirt and they could promote the shirt and other like memorialize art and merch on their personal social media pages. So I had 3 trades lined up, and then one more person jumped in at the last moment, and she and I, the last person, we were actually trading original pieces, and I've loved her art for so long. So I'm super hyped, and I love art trades.
Poverty, I don't know anything. Grab your torches. At that time, I'm responsible.
A lot more difficult now. Battle shows no signs of slowing down.
I also want to show you this amazing piece of art that I got in a trade I did towards the end of last year. This is from my art teacher, Mark Boyson, and he makes these beautiful laser cut pieces, super detailed. I'm extremely honored to have one of these pieces, and now I can add it to my art wall. Love it.
This time I need to
The sound that it makes.
Yeah. I got it though. Hold on tight, there's a storm standing in the eye.
Wow, that's something. As backwards as it sounds, the snow day was a spot of sunshine for me this month. We don't get snow often in this part of the States, so whenever we do have a snow day, we like to make the most of it. And actually this time, it was kind of 2 snow days. The snow fell off and on throughout the first day, and it stayed beautifully white and sparkly into the next day. Making the most of it for me this year was in the form of 2 photo shoots. one with my friends and one by myself in my long flowy pink dress that I never get a chance to wear normally. The solo photo shoot took place first thing the next morning and had a more artistic emphasis. It was freezing cold outside for me in such a sheer dress, but I spent a while running and jumping around, breathless in the snow to make sure I got the perfect shot. I was aiming for a spring fairy comes out and plays in the snow and gets captured on camera kind of vibe, and I think that's what I ended up with. I love coming outside to snow. It is so beautiful out here.
I can't believe it didn't stick by Southern.
The next move of the day was to head out through the snowy landscape and meet the girls for food and shopping.
Okay, one day. That's the rule. So that means even if the words say work.
Get a load of that guy.
Somewhere along the way, while we were at World Market, we decided with a burst of excitement to have a tea party that evening. And the rest of the daylight hours were spent with a flurry of shopping for food and creating a beautiful tea party setup.
I was like, ooh. I got you. I have some really
This is cute.
floors noticeably sloped downward from the start. From the start, Ender was plagued by vertigo as he walked through the tunnels, especially the ones that girdled Eros' narrow circumference. It did not help that gravity was only half of Earth normal. The illusion of being on the verge of falling was almost complete. He could hardly have been close to most of them anyways, except for Ender. The only students were all well into adolescence. So Ender withdrew into his studies and learned quickly and well. Astrogatation
Astrogatation.
A-S-T-R-O-G-A-T-I-O-N.
G-A-T-I-O-N. Astrogation?
Astrogation. Astrogation and military history he absorbed like water. Abstract mathematics was more difficult, but whenever he was given a problem that involved patterns in space and time, he found that his intuition was more reliable than his calculations. He often saw it once.
This is my original piece for the last art trade I did in this round. I traded originals with the artist Kirby Miles, and I am so very excited to receive a piece from her. She makes beautiful, sparkly, colorful work that I've seen in several shows around the area. The piece I'm painting for my part of the trade is a very personal piece for her. It depicts the very intimate moment of her husband injecting her with an intramuscular progesterone shot for an IVF transfer cycle, so in vitro fertilization. And I was honored to have been asked to paint such a personal, private moment. Another commissioned piece I worked on was this digital painting of my sister and her boyfriend at a coffee shop. It's the first digital piece I've ever printed, and I was in love with the quality. The next day, I drove to Michael's to find some good frames for it. Hello. I got two because frames were buy one get one free, and I just wanted you to have one. So it's $62, but you get two for the price of one.
Oh my goodness, so I get one and you get one. Oh, you are such a sweetheart. These look so good. I thought the prints looked so freaking good. These look so
When they came out of the printer, I was freaking out to Delana. I was like, oh my gosh, I might have to print one for myself. Thank you so much. You're welcome. After a donut run with Delano, we went to the opening for a former classmate's senior art show. Some of you may remember him from my Venice and Vienna vlogs as the guy with the long, curly hair, which actually happens to be much shorter now, as you can see. His show was wonderful, his paintings were immersive and captivating, and I am very proud of him and very honored to call him a friend. Something I'm committing to this year is learning guitar, and I'll be keeping these visual diaries updated with my progress in that. Hopefully, it'll keep me somewhat accountable to keep going. And the last thing I'm going to document in this entry is the beginning of my Women's History Month painting. This painting is called Breaking Ground, and I began it in January, but it did not get finished in January. It's so much bigger than the pieces that I have done recently, but it was really, really nice to paint big again, and I'm very excited about it. The footage for this piece was actually formatted for TikToks and Reels, so I'm gonna switch it to that format for the rest of this time lapse so that you can see what's going on in all parts of the painting. And with that, we conclude our visual diary for January.